भैया नमस्ते भैया. भैया, can we start our meeting? Uh,
Yeah, we can start the meeting with.
जी भैया. So namaste Ganesh भैया. Namaste to all the co-explorers. So thank you Ganesh-ji. It's on behalf of whole UHV family. We would like to place our gratitude to all our mentors, senior mentors, so joining these discussions. And especially this is a great learning experience, this meeting. We all together witnessing that, listening to these discussions, sharing our questions, and getting a better clarity on how to live by right understanding and right feeling. So we can see witnessing that transformation happening through these kind of meetings. And we all gathered here to share our questions, and this time we could witness a lot of questions has come in. And thanks to all the co-explorers who have dropped in the questions. So now we will start our discussion with Ganesh-ji. So I welcome you all for this combined volunteer team meeting. So the basic focus is today is more on relationship. So far in our meetings for the past few monthly meeting, we were being discussed, and the more focus is on to the self part. So with that base now, we want to make an effort to understand our relationship. So we are dealing with this human interaction. So how we go about this relationship in the family, amongst our UHV family, and also with our work within our workplace and beyond. So how to be in that state of right feeling. So that is the core of today's meeting. And this is a proposal. In future combined meetings, we were looking forward for the optional sharings. So, sharing to begin with some senior volunteers, they could come up with a sharing that effort I have made to understand this relationship. develop- The effort I have made to understand the relationship and develop a feeling of relation. What was my practice? What effort I have made? So, how do I develop this right feeling within? So, that can be a focus of the sharing. And these are some of the example, not restricted to the same. While I've listened to the content, understanding this relationship, I do have some confusions and questions about the relationship. So that can also be a kind of a sharing. So we look forward in the future sections if some of our to begin with some of our senior volunteers, how they have placed an effort, and how they have come up with the level of having this right feeling within. So that was an expectations in our future meeting, just to keep it in a place, so that in future meeting we can have such kind of sharings. So with this, I invite Ganesh Bhaiya to discuss on this relationship part to begin with, and then we will go with the question and answer session. Ji Ganesh ji, over to you. Bhaiya, you would like to share it from your end, or should I continue with the presentation? I mean, slide sharing.
Continue with the presentation.
Ji Bhaiya, okay.
Yeah.
Ji Bhaiya, over to you for the discussion. Ganesh Bhaiya.
I'll take a minute. I'll just connect through the computer.
Okay, Bhaiya, okay. In the meantime, Rajat Bhaiya, you would like to share something?
Yeah, in the meantime, if somebody wants to share about their, these two questions that were asked earlier, or these two kind of sharings. So if anybody would like to share that, it will be quite nice. Particularly the first one.
So anybody would like to share effort I have made to understand the relationship? Vinay Bhaiya has raised his hand. Vinay
Yeah.
Bhaiya, over to you. Please, Bhaiya.
Yeah. Good, good evening, everyone. So, uh, when we started exploring about relationship, I could see that even though the natural acceptance is for living in relationship, it was not um, happening in actual living. So then I started noting down what are the which people, what events are causing this problems in relationship. And then one thing which I found that while dropping my spouse to her office and then going to my office, uh, that was the major thing where we used to have fights or arguments. So after noting down, when I found that this is the major uh, incident when I'm getting feeling of opposition, then with commitment I started working on myself. Then first thing I decided that I will not express the feeling, whatever anger or opposition I used to get. I will try to avoid expressing it. And then in initial stages, even I would have that opposition, I was trying to not to express it. So that helped in earlier it used to get intensified. Now it used to get slowed down. So for first few days when I tried, I could see that I was trying not to express it. Slowly, it used to give me uh, a trigger that yes, this is the time, this is the thing which is happening, and this may create opposition in you. So I used to be aware that now there is a possibility that I'll be having anger or I'll be having opposition like that. Then, with that, I used to be ready to uh, work on myself, and there used to be a little struggle, but I was able to uh, ensure at least some harmony in me. And with that practice, I could see that slowly I was not getting irritated, I was not getting anger, particularly at those times. Once I saw that it is working for me, then I started finding out what are the people, which people I get this opposition, which people I'm not able to live with relationship, and further, uh, whatever is naturally acceptable, I'm noting down whether I'm able to live with it or not, and then I'm starting working for it. So that is how it helped me to come through that issue. Of course, still it's not complete. I'm still working on it. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah,
Ji.
Vinayji, if you can also sort of touch upon how you made that a particular effort, where, I mean, did you, um, um, was the morning session helpful, or you
Yeah,
did
yeah.
some other practice on your own? What did you do that would be helpful?
So it's in the third or fourth batch of morning session. I started attending in January 21, and in probably I continuously attending it. But in the second when I joined for second time, there I could get that yes, I have to work for it, and of course that step one, step two, step three, that helped me to work on myself. Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, nice. Yeah, please go ahead, Suprajit.
Thank you, Vinay Bhaiya, for that sharing and your experience, how you have made an effort. Gee. So now I leave the platform to Ganesh Bhaiya. Over
Yes.
to you.
Yeah. Yeah, so I will briefly introduce. Am I audible?
Yes, Bhaiya, you are all very much audible. Please.
Yes. So let me briefly introduce some of the concepts relating to relationship, and then we'll go ahead. So in any mutual involvement with the human being, right, and family being one of them, and our workplace and the team being one of them, the fundamental thing is the relationship. This we know by now, right? That relationship is going to play a very fundamental role in our being together with other human beings, for example, family or the workplace or the team. And when you talk about relationship, what is fundamental to relationship is the feeling, the values. And when you talk about the feeling, these feelings are in the self and not in the body. And therefore, we concluded that ultimately, in order to understand relationship, we need to understand feeling, and in order to understand the feeling, we need to understand the self. So, understanding human being as coexistence of the self and the body, therefore, is very fundamental. So, this is one thing which we have been talking about for some time, and I presume that we are all aware of this, isn't it?
Ji, Bhaiya.
Yeah. So with this background that we understand that human being is not just the body, but coexistence of self and body, we can now explore into the harmony in the family or in the team, okay, from this session onward. Yeah, next. So this is very clear that we all want to make our family, our team happy. Often you are ready to compromise your own happiness to make the other happy. Yet some family members feel you are the cause of their happiness, unhappiness. So this is one, issue which keeps coming up in many of these questions. You live together in the family, with the team for a long time. Yes. But you sometimes feel that the other does not listen to you or they don't understand you. So this is another set of questions. Even though we don't want to, we get angry, argue, fight, separate, divorce, withdraw, stop communicating. So all these issues are there, and the question is, why do we have these issues and how do we overcome? Right. Yes. Next. So the issue basically is that somewhere either we are not able to evaluate ourselves properly, or we are not able to evaluate the other properly, or we have not been able to understand the relationship, the feeling in relationship, or instead of trying to ensure relationship from our side, we are expecting it from the other. So these are broadly the region. So we may be doing over or under evaluation of ourselves, resulting in missing the help we can take from or provide to other. For example, my journey of understanding is very personal. I have to make the effort within. Then why do I need to relate, take help, or provide help to anyone else? These questions will come when we go to the questions. I may become very choosy, conditional in my interactions. It is a major effort to shift above 3B and be open think that we are well above 3B. So this is interesting, right? Let's go to the next thing. Next slide. Yeah. So let's, no. Before. Yeah. No, this. Next. Yeah. So if you look at this diagram, which we have been referring many times, I think at least 100 times you must have seen this. So this shift S1, shift S2, and shift S3. So it is important to shift from 3B to 3A. So this shift S2 is very significant. So as long as we are working below S2, we are trying to get the happiness from outside. And if we are expecting continuity of happiness through this process, it is not going to work. So many of our complaints are because of this. That in our relationship, instead of focusing on ensuring the right feeling from our side, that is 3A, we are expecting the right feeling from the other, that is 3B. So this you must ask yourself, that you are at the level of 3B or at the level of 3A. So are you trying to ensure the feeling, the right feeling in relationship from your side, or you are expecting and begging for the right feeling from the other, that is you are in 3B. So mostly we think that we are in 3A, but invariably if we really evaluate ourselves, we'll find that we are in 3A, 3B, not 3A. So this shift has to take place. And this shift takes place when we are able to work on ourselves. When we are able to understand ourselves, we are able to ensure the right understanding in this self, and we are able to ensure the right feeling in this self out of our own right understanding, out of our own being at the level of pure observer, that we can be in harmony within and we can have the feeling of relationship for others. So now in our relationship, instead of becoming the beggar, we can become the giver of the feeling of relationship, in our day-to-day interaction. And if that happens, then things will start falling in place. So we have the feeling from within based on our right understanding, based on our being at the level of pure observer. And from there, I am looking at the relationship, looking at my interaction with the other human being. And if that is the condition, then I can ensure this right feeling within me and give this feeling to the other, which is the expectation of the other. Yes, so we must ask this question to ourselves. Are we in 3B? Are we in 3A? Are we seeking for right feeling from other? Or we have this feeling, right feeling in us, and we are willing to give it to the other in relationship? So you will see many of the questions, if not most of the questions, relate to this, that this other person in relationship, in the family, in the team, in the workplace, is not behaving properly, is not expressing the right feeling for me, and therefore I am unhappy.
Ganesh Bhaiya,
Yeah.
what is the indicator to understand that I am having this feeling within? Because we are all on the journey. Or are we expecting this feeling from other? How do I evaluate? Am I expecting, or I'm placing an effort to having it for? Because until I have, I cannot share it with others. I cannot be a giver. So, what
So,
was an indicator to know that I am in which state?
see, the indicator is simple. I mean, if you really work on exercise 1,
Ji Bhaiya.
then you can see that whenever you have the right feeling within,
Mhm.
you are in a state of harmony and happiness.
In continuity.
The moment, no, it may not be even in continuity, but at that particular moment,
Okay, Bhaiya.
okay, if I have the right feeling, for example, feeling of relationship,
Mhm.
then I will be in harmony within and in a state of happiness within.
Mhm.
If even for a moment, if I have a feeling which is not the right feeling, for example, feeling of opposition,
Mhm.
then that very moment I get into the contradiction within and in a state of unhappiness within.
Mhm.
So
Ji
this is
Bhaiya.
very simple thing to verify if I am really working on exercise 1,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? So if you put this step 1, 2 and 3 together of exercise 1,
Mhm.
every moment I can verify whether I have the right feeling in me or not, whether I am in a state of harmony and happiness or not, right?
Mhm.
Now, in any of my interaction, if I am getting unhappy,
Mhm.
then there are two possibilities. One possibility is that the other person is not behaving properly.
Mhm. Mhm.
He is not expressing the right feeling. Right?
Mhm.
The other possibility is that he is expressing the right feeling, but I am not able to evaluate it properly.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, in either of the two cases,
Mhm.
if I am feeling unhappy about it,
Mhm.
that means that my feeling is dependent on the other's behavior,
Expectations. Mhm.
right? And not on my own understanding, on my
Mhm.
own self observation.
Ji Bhaiya.
So, if I'm unhappy at this moment, even because of the behavior of the other, ultimately the responsibility lies with me
Correct. Correct. Mhm.
because I have not been watchful about my feeling.
Mhm. Ji Bhaiya.
So even if the other person was not behaving properly,
Mhm.
he was expressing a feeling which is wrong.
Mhm.
On the basis of that, whether I, you know, spoil my feeling or I go with the right feeling, that is still my choice.
Mhm. Mhm.
So if I become unhappy means I have also having the wrong feeling. I have somewhere generated the feeling of opposition in me.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I am unhappy not because of the behavior of the other, but because of my own, feeling of opposition, which I have generated within myself out of my sanskar.
Ji Bhaiya. Correct.
Is that
Mhm.
clear?
Yes, Bhaiya.
Now, then what do I do?
Mhm.
So what I can do is I can take stock of my feeling first.
Mhm.
I set it in order,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So I am in a state of harmony and happiness within.
Hmm.
With that state of harmony and happiness within, now
Hmm.
I evaluate the behavior of the other.
Ji Bhaiya. Hmm.
Now, when I evaluate the behavior of the other and I find that he is not behaving properly, he is not having the right feeling,
Hmm.
then my conclusion is not that he is trying to hurt me or she is trying to hurt me.
Hmm. Hmm.
My evaluation is that he is not able to ensure the right feeling in himself,
Hmm.
right? So either
Ji
he
Bhaiya.
does not have the right understanding or
Hmm.
he is not at the level of pure observer.
Hmm. Hmm.
And out of his sanskar, he is reacting.
Hmm. Hmm.
If I can evaluate this, then now
Hmm.
it is for me to decide what to do.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So first thing will come is that let me see how I can help the other,
Hmm.
right? So rather than getting into reaction and unhappiness and then reacting outside,
Hmm.
I will start thinking in terms of how to help the other to improve upon himself or herself.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
But one thing is sure,
Hmm.
in the process, I am in a state of harmony and happiness.
So here also the focus is on the self first. So I need to be in harmony before I offer a help.
Yes, the focus has to be on the self every moment.
Ji Bhaiya.
When I am
Yes.
interacting with the world outside, right?
Hmm.
That is other human being or the rest of nature.
Hmm. Hmm.
So in exercise one, every time we are saying, we have to be aware every moment.
Yes, Bhaiya.
Right?
Hmm.
Every moment we have to observe our feeling, evaluate our feeling, observe our sanskar, evaluate our sanskar, right?
Yes, Bhaiya.
So that has to be done every moment.
Hmm. Hmm.
Then while doing this, we are also interacting with the world outside as and when required.
Yes.
And that interaction is anyway very less.
Hmm. Correct.
See how long do we interact with others, either human being or the rest of nature. If you look at
Comparatively,
it,
yes.
it will be hardly less than 1%.
Ji, ji. Correct, Bhaiya.
But
Hmm.
most of the time we keep thinking of it, isn't it?
Correct.
So if somebody misbehaves with me, that is 1 minute, 1 second, right?
Yes.
Or by 5 seconds or 5 minutes.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
how long do I keep thinking over it
Correct.
and
Correct.
keep suffering?
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Ji, Bhaiya.
it's not the behavior that is
Hmm.
taking place every moment or long time. Behavior is just very small transaction thing.
Correct.
But what is going on in you
Hmm.
is important and that is related to your feeling,
Hmm. Hmm.
isn't it?
Ji.
Yeah. So it is true that I must focus on myself every moment,
Hmm.
right? I must ensure that I have
Hmm.
the right feeling in me every moment,
Hmm.
whether I'm interacting with the other or not interacting with the other.
Hmm. Hmm.
So if I can ensure this, then whenever I'm interacting with the other, I will have that right feeling in me,
Hmm. Hmm.
isn't it?
Correct, Bhaiya. Ji. So can we move forward, Bhaiya?
Yes. Next.
Sridarshini has a question.
Ji. Sridarshini ji.
Yeah, namaste, ma'am. Namaste, Bhaiya. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste, namaste.
Bhaiya, when we are discussing about this shift, that is 3B and 3A, like I can see for myself that I am seeking happiness from outside
Yes.
whenever I am getting uncomfortable feelings because of someone's behavior or something which has not happened according to my expectation. But
Yes.
what if the case is in a different way? Maybe I can put it in like this. I'm not comfortable within, but the behavior of the other is making me to get the right feelings within me. So in that case, it's still like I am dependent on the outside to have the happiness. But what I can say is, when I get such kind of right feelings within me, then I'm able to have I'm able to sustain with that feeling. So it's like a trigger that I get from outside, and I'm able to get into the clarity. I'm able to have this right understanding and right feelings within me. Then I'm not seeking it out.
Yeah.
So how to
No,
say this?
what is the question exactly? I'm not able to articulate. Yes.
The question is like, whenever I get into this uncomfortableness
Yes.
because of something which is happening outside,
Yes.
then it means that I'm in 3B.
Yes.
I'm seeking the favorable feelings from outside.
Yes.
But what happens if that is going to be in a reverse way? I am able to get a trigger from outside, which makes me to feel comfortable within, and I'm able to sustain with that state.
Yeah. So this is important. The second line, that you are able to sustain with that state. So if you are able to sustain with that, even if the other person is not behaving with you with right feeling, then it means that you are able to ensure this feeling in yourself. But if the other person does not behave properly next moment and you lose your comfort, then there is problem. So slowly where we have to enter is that irregardless of whether the other person is behaving with me or not behaving with me, I have the right feeling for others and ultimately for everyone out of my own right understanding, and therefore I am in a state of harmony and happiness. This is my general state of being. And therefore, whenever I am interacting with the other, or the other is interacting with me, I am interacting with the other with this feeling of relationship, irregardless of how the other person is behaving. So that is where we want to reach. And there is one step ahead, which I will discuss, that if I have the right feeling in me, a feeling of relationship for the other, then we do something more. So not only wait for the other to, interact, but from my side, I will do certain definite things. And what are those definite things? I'm going to discuss next,
Okay.
Yeah. So it is not that I'm waiting for the other person to behave, and that will decide my state of happiness or unhappiness. I have to make sure from my side that I have the right understanding and the right feeling, or at least I have the right feeling based on my being at the level of pure observer. And with that right feeling, I'm in a state of harmony and happiness. And with that right feeling, I'm interacting with the world outside as and when I consider it necessary. That is exercise 2. So exercise 1 is ongoing every moment. Exercise 2 is active when I'm interacting with the world outside as and when necessary. Right? And I'll discuss further in detail that when I have the right feeling in me, a feeling of relationship for the other, what do I do for the other? So I do three things. One is I nurture the other. Okay. Second is I protect the other. Third thing is that I ensure that there is right utilization of this, other person or other thing. So nurturing the other, that is taking care of the fact that his self-organization, his harmony is ensured, right? Protection is to ensure that his harmony is not disturbed by any external, influence. And right utilization is that every human being has some definite role to play in this existence, in the family, in the society, in the nature. So all that the other person is able to do. So these three things I have to do. I have to nurture the other in terms of ensuring that he has the right understanding, the right feeling, and he has the capacity to, develop the necessary physical facility. Then I have to protect the other with whom I am feeling that relationship. Protect in the sense that he is able to be in that state, okay, of harmony, of happiness, right? He is able to be with that right understanding, right feeling. And third part is that he is able to play his role in the larger, order of family, society, nature, and so on. This is the additional responsibility if I have the feeling of relationship for the other. Presently, what is happening is that we don't realize this responsibility. We expect all this from the other, and if the other is not doing it, we keep complaining. So we have become the passive receiver. Slowly, we have to become an active giver. That is the change which has to take place. Does it make sense?
Yes, Bhaiya.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Sridharshini ji. Yes. So I'll just continue with this part which I wanted to discuss, and then we'll get back to the questions. So the relationship, if you look at the harmony in the family that we have been talking about, if you look at the relationship is between oneself and the another self. The only choices we have are to fulfill the relationship or not to fulfill the relationship. And in order to fulfill the relationship, we have to understand relationship. Right? And if you understand the relationship and try to fulfill it, next we can go. Next. So if you have to fulfill that relationship, that is what I discussed in detail about three things: nurturing, protection, and right utilization. So I have to take care of this responsibility that I have to develop the competence in the other so that he is nurtured, right? He is protected, and he is able to ensure the right utilization of himself. The other point is that while we are working with this self and we are working with our relationship in the family, in the team, then we should not become the partisan. We should not become limited either to the self or to the family. But this can be seen as a preparation to work for the collectivity. So if I am developing myself, working on myself, one of the natural outcome of it will be that I am able to live in my family with mutual fulfillment. And if I am able to live in my family with mutual fulfillment, then my family is going to meaningfully contribute in the development of the society. So my living in family with fulfillment does not mean that I do not pay attention to the collectivity, to the society. In fact, that is a pre-requirement, a preparation for participating in the society. Right? So that is what it means. We may get so comfortable within that we lose sight of collective. So we may prioritize my family or team activity above collective activity, or participate reluctantly in a collective activity and not my family or team's activity. In fact, all this, limited perceptions of having relationship or feeling of relationship with few and not for all is going to create this kind of problem. But, this is something which is a preparation of, feeling of responsibility, feeling of relationship for all. So you cannot jump to the feeling of relationship for all. It starts with one and few and many and ultimately for all. So if there is a good practice or capability in my family and team, right, it may not be readily available to the other families and teams which I can make available to them. But rather used to show I am special, my family team is better, ultimately leading to exclusivity and isolation. So all these problems you are aware of, right? That we keep getting into these problems. And this issue of ego, right? Ego or ahankar at the level of individual, at the level of family, at the level of society, all this keeps creating problems that we all know. So ultimately, we have to have the feeling of relationship for all. That alone will lead to undivided society, and that alone can become the basis of an universal human life. But that's a long way to go, of course. But that we have to always keep in our target. Yes, next. Yeah, so with this, we are aware of these feelings which are naturally acceptable to us in one self or the other self, starting from trust to love. Right, so I'm not discussing the detail. Next, we can move. Yeah, so we can all verify for ourselves whether these feelings are naturally acceptable to us or not. And if they are naturally acceptable to us and they lead to a state of harmony and happiness or not, then we must check whether we are able to ensure these feelings in ourselves for one, for many, and ultimately for everyone. So if they are there, then we can see that we are in a state of 3A and not 3B. Then not only that we will not have problem in the relationship or will not be hurt in the process of interacting with the other, but we can also take care of such situations and give a constructive solution to all such problems rather than getting affected ourselves with this problem. So with this, we can now get to the question. Yes.
This is a question from Suni Bose, sir. So my journey of understanding is very personal. I have to make the effort within. Then why do I need to relate to anyone else, or take help from or assist anyone else? My journey is very personal. So why do I need to take effort to relate to anyone is the question, Bhaiya.
Yeah, this is what we think, that my journey is very personal. Right? It is not very personal. We are all in interaction with the world around, whether human being or the rest of nature. And unless you have the right understanding and right feeling in yourself, and you are in a state of continuous happiness seen, you cannot be independent of the world around. So you keep getting affected anyway. So only when you have the right understanding and right feeling in you in continuity, and you are in a state of harmony and happiness within forever, then you can say that, okay, I am not going to interact with the other because that does not matter to me. But if you look at the situation now, most of the time you get affected by the world around, isn't it?
Yes, Bhaiya.
Yes. So I must understand what is this interaction with the world around, and how I have to interact. Okay. So it is not said that you have to go and help others.
Ji.
What is being said is that we are anyway in interaction with the world around, and we must understand this interaction. We can be comfortable in this interaction only when we have the right understanding and right feeling. Number one. Number two, when we are in a state of harmony, we are in a, with right understanding and right feeling, and therefore in a state of harmony and happiness, then you can interact with the world outside without getting disturbed. Number one. Number two, not only that you will not get disturbed, you can also be a help to the other. This is what is being said. Yeah. So this interaction with the world around is like a cross check for you. Right? It tells you whether you are in a stable state of being or not. Whether you have the right understanding and right feeling in you based on your right understanding or not. Take it as a facility for you to verify what is your state of being.
Correct.
Rather than as a burden.
Correct, Bhaiya. Ji. Nice.
But if you think that for the time being, you need time and you want to work with yourself and not interact with the other, fine. Take your time. Work with yourself. But don't feel that you are getting disturbed because of the interaction with the world around.
True.
That is not the real reason. The real reason is that you do not have the right understanding and right feeling.
Understood.
Yes.
Suni Boshi is there, so I don't know if we have articulated her question correctly, so she can ask herself also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good evening. My name is Suni Bose. I am not a doctor or a professor. I am an entrepreneur. Okay. I basically my question was that if everything is about right understanding and right feeling, okay, people can be, and we have got no control on what the other person is going to do, or what he will do, or how he will behave, how he will react. They will have, we'll have to leave it to them only. But when we have enough of right understanding and right feeling, then, my question was with the intention of, it is through relatives only where, where relationships only uh, bring us to react or respond. So it is better to not be with, not put an effort to have an interactive relationship. But definitely, we need to learn to know that we should interact. We have to interact with them every time. We cannot be secluded and we cannot sit in one corner, or we cannot be alone. But then people are like that. Relationship in relationship also, people are the way they are, and it definitely there is a lot of contradiction in them. They don't want to do the work and inner work. They have their ego, and then it's like, it becomes a mm, what do you call it, elephant task for us to sit and correct them. So it's rather, I can accept them the way they are. I can accept uh, people to be in any way they are, and then just carry on, no?
Yeah, you can do that.
Mhm.
You can do that for the time being.
Okay.
Yes. But this should be very clear to you that if you are unhappy because of the behavior of the other,
No. Then it is my wrong understanding, no?
then
If my understanding, if I have a very right understanding, and if I know if there is any feelings that is invoked in me which makes me feel bad, I definitely don't have the right understanding.
yeah,
But
I have
once you're
not
very
taken care of my feeling.
correct,
I
because
have left
nobody has the power to do that unless you allow yourself to do it.
exactly. So you are vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is, once that is settled, that I am not vulnerable,
Yes.
right? Then I
Yes.
will interact with the other without getting disturbed. Number one.
Mhm.
Number two, whether I can help the other presently or not, that I will take the decision.
Correct. So that's
Right?
what my question was. Then why is importance given in this place on maintaining relationship with one another?
The importance is given because we are most of the time interacting with the world around.
Hmm.
So you cannot keep on neglecting for a very long time. For a short time, fine. But in the long run, you are already interacting.
We have to interact, definitely.
Yeah. So you get your food with your environment, from the environment.
Correct. Yeah.
Hey,
That's
you
what
get,
ma'am also explained to me.
yes. So all that interaction is anyway taking place.
Hmm.
So I have to ultimately be responsible for that environment. But in case I find that situation is such that I'm not competent to fulfill that relationship, then for the time being, I may, hold and work on myself, which is fine. But then I can't keep holding it for very long time. So it is always better to improve upon myself and develop that competence to be in interaction with the other in a meaningful and mutually fulfilling manner. Isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So that is what we are trying to say. And then ultimately, when we are talking about an undivided society and a human order, then there we have to be more active. So what I was telling just now is that not only that we don't get hurt in relationship, but we develop the competence to ensure these three things in our relationship: nurturing the other, protecting the other, and ensuring the right utilization of the other. That responsibility is there for a child, for example. Who is going to do this for the child? The parents, right? The guardian. And ultimately, the society has to ensure this nurturing of the child, protection of the child, and developing the right competence in the child for its right utilization. Isn't it? Which we are not doing today, which our parents have not been able to do it for us. If they had done it, we would have been much better.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ji Bhaiya, thank you.
Thank you.
So let's go on to the next question, Ganesh Bhaiya.
Yes.
In a team of co-explorers, sometimes we feel difficult to understand our competence and the others too. Please guide us how to handle such a situation. Ji, question from Soumya ji.
Yes. This is real time question. Yes.
Namaste, sir. Sir, many of us have it, so we wanted to, and I think we experienced it during the conference also, but we really want help.
In fact, this teamwork in that sense is very interesting. So many of us who get into this teamwork very strongly realize this problem, that we are interacting with the people. We have some expectation, they have some expectation. We have some competence, they have some competence. There is some expectation from our side, there is some expectation from the other side, and this is not matching. Right? What do we do? So if you ask me, my first answer is hold on to your right feeling.
Amen.
That's the first thing. So if there are problems in the interaction, first thing is to do is to ensure that you have the right feeling for the other. I mean, you have the right feeling in general, and you have the right feeling for the other in particular.
जी भैया.
So if you do that, then you will be able to start finding the solution. The problem that takes place is that when this problem is there, that we are not able to understand our competence or the competence of the other, and therefore there is some mismatch in our expression or behavior, then first thing we do is we spoil our own feeling.
Correct.
So we feel hurt, right?
Yes, भैया.
Don't say we feel hurt, we say we get hurt, right? We are not taking the responsibility. So we feel hurt because we have not taken care of our feelings, not because of the not right behavior of the other. This clarity is to be there all the time. That if I am getting unhappy, that means I have not been responsible towards my family, towards my feelings, regard of what is the behavior of the other. So that is the first thing to hold on. Then next thing is that if I have the right feeling, then I will be open to this, what you are saying. That if I have the right feeling for the other, then I will be open to this possibility that I have not evaluated my competence properly, or I have not evaluated the right competence of the other, or the other is not able to do that. So 4 possibilities. I am not able to evaluate the competence of the other is not able to evaluate the competence of the other, right? Or from my side, I am not able to evaluate my own competence, right? And the other is not able to evaluate my competence. But given all this, as long as I am able to ensure the right feeling in me for the other, I am in a state of harmony and happiness within, I am comfortable within, and then I am in a position to look at all these possibilities and see what is happening, and also try to find out the solution. So when I'm interacting with the people, this is the first thing I do. So whenever something happens and there is some problem, first thing I do is to take hold of my own feeling, right? Then I start asking all these questions, these 4 possible questions. And depending on my evaluation of this, I try to find out some solution. Like morning, we were discussing about this moderation team, right? So 15 days before the conference, it was found that there are many moderators who have no background of moderation at all. Number one, in terms of the, how to present a new speaker, okay, the topic and so on. Plus, they had no acquaintance with the whole concept as well as the speakers. Now, very difficult thing to do, what to do, and you can't go on blaming people that you did not do this and you did not do that, right? So what do we do? So first thing we thought over is that, see, in this period of 15 days, we can't, screen people and train them, orient them and all that. So with our state of being, of relationship and harmony, we decided that let us request this moderation team, which was there the last year in 2024, ask them to conduct this session because they have already done it. We requested Upasana ji and Vanshi ji that given the condition, this is what seems to be possible, that you two have to take the charge and make this team effective, your old team. And from the new team, if you feel somebody is quite extraordinary, and they can be placed, do place them. Take the responsibility. And they took the responsibility, they worked day and night, and finally they made it, possible. So all these things will happen. So given the competence of ours, given the competence of the other, given the competence of the team, you can decide what best solution is possible. But one thing you have to ensure is that you have the right feeling in you and you are comfortable within and you are not disturbed.
Important. Okay.
Right, Soumya ji?
Yes, sir. That is the biggest challenge, sir, to have the right feeling in me. Because I can see that, there is so much of opposition and I do not have the right feeling. And that understanding also happens after the interaction sometimes. And then I have already expressed it. So it's a big challenge, sir.
See, that is it, that's why we have this morning session running every day. So every day morning we are reminding you that make sure that you have, having the right feeling in you, feeling of relationship and not opposition. So that is the core thing that has to be done.
Yes, sir. We'll hopefully this time we will commit to be even more serious in attending the sessions and exploring deeper also, sir.
Ganesh-ji, one more point in this is that the team or the group is staying together rather than dispersing and then in the process helping each other out. So that that togetherness is very important. Through the thick and thin of it, people are not running away from each other.
Yeah, that is true, that this togetherness has to be there. That feeling of togetherness has to be there. The only thing that we have to keep in mind that, each one of us has to work to ensure that we have the right feeling in ourselves. Otherwise, what happens that one person loses the right feeling, gets into this feeling of opposition. Then the other person also not able to handle his feeling or her feeling, and he also gets into the opposition. And when that happens, then you are going to attack. So this is true that we must hold this, decision that we keep the team together and try to handle our feeling rather than losing the feeling itself and the team. So I keep saying that this team development in that sense is a very good, ground for our self-evolution. So this is going to help us in the evolution of our own self. Yes, true.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Soumya-ji.
जी भैया, कोमल, Telly, I couldn't see them in the chat and it's in Hindi, so if somebody can help me to read.
जी दीदी, I will try to read.
Please, please.
मेरे सवाल ये है कि जब भी कोई घटना होती है हमारे साथ, तभी हम हमारे पास जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन होती है उसे अप्लाई करने लग जाते हैं, लेकिन ऐसा करने से हम सिर्फ अपने विचारों पे शिफ्ट होते हैं और एक समय बाद विचारों को एडजस्ट करते करते थक जाते हैं। एग्जाम्पल के लिए, जैसे मेरी किसी से लड़ाई हो गई, फिर मुझे लड़ाई के समय याद आ रहा है कि मुझे तो विश्वास का भाव रखना है उसके साथ, फिर फिर वह हो नहीं पाता है। यह सवाल मैंने मेरे मेंटर से भी पूछा था, तो उन्होंने बताया कि हमें इंसिडेंट से पहले जब न्यूट्रल सिचुएशन हो तब स्वयं के साथ पूछा था, तो उन्होंने बताया कि हमें इंसिडेंट से पहले जब न्यूट्रल सिचुएशन हो तब स्वयं के साथ प्रैक्टिस करनी चाहिए, पर मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कि स्वयं के साथ कैसे प्रैक्टिस करना, ताकि जब इंसिडेंट हो तब हम सोचना न पड़े कि मुझे विश्वास का भाव रखना है, वह नेचुरली ही निकले।
आप मॉर्निंग सेशन कर रहे हैं?
Sir, I think Komalji is not online, sir.
Not here. He's not here. Yeah.
अच्छा, अच्छा. So we have to check whether she is doing morning session or not doing. Because her question is that when the incidents are not taking place, what do I do? How do I work on myself? The answer is that this is what we are trying to work on in the morning session. So she must attend the morning session. Anybody who is acquainted of her? Is there anybody?
गणेश जी, आपकी आवाज थोड़ी दूर होती जा रही है कुछ.
But sir, we will convey it to her, sir. If not, we will surely convey it. We'll take the guidance of Parikshit Bhaiya, Tara Bhaiya, take the details and we'll convey it.
Yes. So our suggestion would be that.
नमस्ते गणेश भैया.
हैं?
नमस्ते गणेश भैया, मैं पलक बात कर रही हूँ. मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ जी, आ रही है.
हाँ, कोमल मतलब मेरी ही फ्रेंड है. हम लोग सब साथ में ही मॉर्निंग सेशन कर रहे हैं, तो वो भी मॉर्निंग सेशन कर रही है भैया.
बढ़िया. तो इंसिडेंट होने के पहले ही जो हम लोग मॉर्निंग में अभ्यास कर रहे हैं ना, तो किया जा सकता है. और उसको अगर हम कर रहे हैं तो हमको पता है कि पहले ही हम अपने में रिलेशनशिप का फीलिंग कैसे ला सकते हैं, विश्वास का भाव कैसे ला सकते हैं. सो वी डोंट हैव टू वेट फॉर द इंसिडेंट्स टू टेक प्लेस, क्योंकि ये जो इंसिडेंट्स इज टेकिंग प्लेस उस समय आप उसको केयर करने जाएंगे ना, तो बहुत हैंडल करना. इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू हैंडल. तो जिस समय आप मॉर्निंग सेशन करते हैं, इस समय आपके पास बहुत समय है ना, टू लुक एट योरसेल्फ, टू इवैल्यूएट योरसेल्फ, वो सब करने के लिए. तो उस समय अगर आप करेंगे तो आसानी से कर सकते हैं. जब घटना घट रही है उस समय करना तो रिलेटिवली कठिन है. उस समय जो लोग करने जाते हैं उनके लिए बहुत मुश्किल होता है इसको हैंडल करना. इसलिए ज्यादा अच्छा है कि हम लोग से पहले ही उसको कर लें, है कि नहीं. इसलिए हम लोगों ने मॉर्निंग शुरू किया. 2020 के जून में हम लोगों ने मॉर्निंग सेशन इसीलिए किया शुरू कि बहुत लोगों का ये प्रश्न था कि हमने सुन लिया सेशन में कि फीलिंग ऑफ रिलेशनशिप को रखना है ना, फीलिंग ऑफ हार्मनी रखना है, तो हो नहीं पा रहा है। तो जब भी ऐसा इंसिडेंस आता है फिर हमारी फीलिंग बिगड़ जाती है, तो क्या करें। तो उस प्रश्न का उत्तर ढूंढने के लिए ही लोगों ने जून 2020 में मॉर्निंग सेशन शुरू किया था। ठीक है ना, तो अब तो चल ही रहा है और आपने ज्वाइन
जी भैया, मेरा
आपने
मेरा एक और सवाल है भैया।
आपका नाम क्या बताया? महक?
पलक पलक
पलक पलक
पलक, पलक बताइए कहाँ से हैं आप?
सर मैं भिलवाड़ा राजस्थान से हूँ। मैं सुनील आगीवाल जी और अभिलाष मोदी सर के थ्रू जुड़ी हूँ।
ठीक ठीक है, ठीक है, हाँ मैं पहचान गया आपको। जी जी।
तो भैया मेरा सवाल ये है कि जैसे अभी ऐसा दिखता तो है कि खुद पे ही ध्यान देना है, अपने ऊपर ही ध्यान देना है, और दिखता भी जब सिचुएशंस आती है तब आप चाह कर भी नहीं कर पाओगे, क्योंकि आपकी टेंडेंसी है जब तक आप अपने आप को एज अ थर्ड पर्सन नहीं देखते। बट कभी कभी ऐसा लगता है जैसे अभी ट्रस्ट जो भी फीलिंग्स की अपन बात करते हैं, क्या वो सच में मेरे अंदर है भी सही? मतलब वो हैप्पीनेस का सोर्स मेरे अंदर ही है, वो मुझे दिखता नहीं है। हो सकता है मेरा सवाल काफी बेसिक लेवल का, मैं इतनी बड़ी मीटिंग में पूछ रही हूँ, बट मुझे लगा अगर मुझे मौका मिला है तो मुझे आपसे पूछना चाहिए कि
जी जी
मतलब कंपैरि मतलब मैंने अपनी जर्नी देखी तो मुझे 1 साल हो गया है मॉर्निंग सेशन से जुड़े हुए। हाँ, मैंने सही से नहीं किया है और इस बार मैं कोशिश कर रही हूँ काफी अच्छे से करने की, बट फिर भी अंदर ये चलता रहता है कि क्या मेरे अंदर वो कैपेबिलिटी, मतलब वो पोटेंशियल भी है, और मैं अपने अंदर वो कैसे देखूं हैप्पीनेस की मेरे अंदर ही है। दिखता है मैं अभी बहुत प्रभावित होती हूँ, अभी भी इन्फ्लुएंस, इट इज एक्सटर्नल इन्फ्लुएंस, बट do I really have a choice to see within me as well? मतलब वो सब मेरे अंदर एस्टेब्लिश ही है, ये मुझे अभी नहीं दिख पाता है। और जब मैं अवेयर होने की भी कोशिश करती हूँ तो सिचुएशंस ही चलती रहती है मेरे दिमाग में। तो मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगता है, मैंने अभिलाष सर से भी मैं इस बारे में बात करती ही रहती हूँ, तो वो यही बोलते हैं कि अपने आप मतलब थोड़ा अच्छे से अवेयर होने की ही कोशिश करनी है, अपने आप को एज अ थर्ड पर्सन की तरह देखना है।
जी। ये बताइए कि पिछले
जी।
साल भर में, है ना, जब से आपने एफर्ट को शुरू किया है तब से आपको क्या लगता है कि पहले की तुलना में कुछ इम्प्रूवमेंट है या नहीं है?
तुलना में इम्प्रूवमेंट तो है।
हाँ, तो ये आपके प्रश्न का जवाब है। अगर पहले की तुलना में इम्प्रूवमेंट हुआ है इसका मतलब आप में इम्प्रूवमेंट हो सकता
हम्म
है कि नहीं?
हम्म
हो सकता है, लेकिन यह है कि पहले से जो हमारी नेगेटिव फीलिंग्स हैं वो बहुत सारी हैं, है ना, अभी निकालने में टाइम लग रहा है। एक तो ये कारण है, दूसरा ये कि जो जिस इंटेंसिटी से हम काम कर रहे हैं वो इंटेंसिटी भी थोड़ी कम हो सकती है।
हम्म
बट गिवन ऑल
बिल्कुल।
दैट, ये तो है कि कुछ तो बदलाव हो ही रहा है ना। और ये
हम्म
बदलाव बाहर के कारण नहीं है, बदलाव तो हम अपने में काम कर रहे हैं उसके कारण है।
हम्म
तो ये ठीक बात है कि पूरी तरह से नहीं बदली है चीजें, बट अगर 5% भी बदली है साल भर में, इसका मतलब 20 साल में तो बदल ही जाएगा 100%। और इसमें भी क्या होता है कि थ्रेशोल्ड काम करता है ना, जैसे डायोड के बारे पढ़े हैं ना, कि शुरू में जो वोल्टेज आप अप्लाई करते हैं तो उससे करंट काफी कम आता है। एक समय के बाद जब थ्रेशोल्ड पार हो जाता है तो फिर ज्यादा इफेक्ट दिखता है ना, तो कम वोल्टेज चेंज करने पर भी ज्यादा करंट आता है। आप क्या पढ़ रहे हैं, साइंस पढ़ रहे हैं?
नहीं सर, मैं बीकॉम थर्ड ईयर में हूँ।
ठीक। तो ये जो जैसे खाना खाते हैं ना आप, तो पहले आप 10 ग्रास खाएंगे तो आपको लगता नहीं कि भूख मिट गई, है ना, लेकिन एक समय के बाद आपको लगने लगता है कि पेट भर रहा है। उसके बाद आप 1 ग्रास भी खाएं तो ऐसा लगता है कि पेट बिल्कुल खा ही नहीं सकते आप। तो ये थ्रेशोल्ड कहते हैं
जी।
इसको। तो अभी आपका थ्रेशोल्ड आने तक जितना एफर्ट आप कम कर रहे हैं और जितना आप में चेंज हो रहा है वो आपको कम लगेगा, बट कुछ तो चेंज हो रहा है, इतना तो पक्का है। तो जितना एफर्ट हम कर रहे हैं उस आधार पे जितना चेंज हो रहा है, हमारे संस्कार के कारण हमको लगता है कि वो चेंज पर्याप्त नहीं है, और उस आधार पर हम डाउट पैदा कर रहे हैं कि चेंज हो भी सकता है कि नहीं हो सकता। जबकि फैक्ट यह है कि अभी जितना
जी भैया।
और जैसा हमारा पहले का संस्कार है, उतना नहीं है जितना हम एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं, बट ये तो पक्का हो गया कि चेंज हो सकता है। तो अब उस पर आगे काम करने की जरूरत है। और
जी भैया।
थोड़ा समय लगेगा, है ना। अभी भी जिन लोग ने बहुत समय से इस पे काम कर रहे हैं ना, उनका एक्सपीरियंस ये है कि जब वो शुरू करते हैं तो चेंज उनको धीरे दिखता है, बट एक समय के बाद उनको जब अपने पर भरोसा होने लगता है और वो इंटेंसिटी के साथ काम करते हैं तो चेंज ज्यादा इफेक्टिवली दिखने लगता है। ठीक है ना।
जी भैया। जी भैया, थैंक यू सो मच भैया। और मुझे
ठीक
थोड़ा थोड़ा समझ आ रहा है।
बढ़िया।
हाँ मतलब इसको अच्छे से करने की जरूरत है। थैंक यू सो मच।
हाँ, उस पर काम और करने की जरूरत है, बट इतना तो क्लैरिटी आनी चाहिए कि कुछ तो बदलाव हो ही रहा है, एंड दैट इज सिग्निफिकेंट कि हमने
हाँ
एफर्ट
मतलब
किया और
जितना मैं समझ पाई भैया, पूरा देखने की जरूरत है कि काफी सारी चीजें अभी बाकी है, तो कुछ कुछ चीजें भी इम्प्रूव तो हुई है।
हाँ बिल्कुल।
थैंक यू भैया।
ठीक, नमस्ते नमस्ते।
Namaste, Bhaiya. Bhaiya, can we move to the next question?
यस
Bhaiya, all these questions are interconnected.
यस
Like,
ट्रू।
so we just go through whole, then you can throw your light. So being in harmony is the center, Bhaiya. So where doing part will naturally flow. Because if I take care of, as you mentioned, right feeling within me, that being part, the doing will naturally happen. But sometimes due to the urgency of work, or sometimes the system requires me to do such kind of work which I don't want to do. Say I'm forced to do some, say I don't want to do some unethical work, but I'm forced to do. So the doing part is there. So the feeling is getting disturbed at this point. So what help us to stay rooted in the self-exploration rather seeking this external validation? Via at present we are in the system and the system is not ready to accept this goal. So that time, no, whatever we are also depending the physical facility on the system. So this is the situation right now. So we are forced to do some work where my being is affecting. And
या
also when we say I must be resolved before we, how do we help people to see that it is not a selfishness, but it's a deeper responsibility towards the collective? Because it is to correct, to understand working on I is prioritizing myself over the other, but ensuring that I do not become a source of the pressure or confusion. When I'm uh, putting I in the first, it is not selfishness. I want to prioritize myself so that I will not become again a pressure or confusion. So, on my opinion, I coming before we is not a selfishness when it's the effort for right understanding and right feeling. It will become selfishness when I is driven by this self-centered desire, comparison, accumulation. Then it's selfish. But how do I ensure the self-exploration alive when thoughts are more occupied with the work? All these together, you can throw some light by.
या see, there are 3 types of situation. Okay,
जी भैया.
one is I am situated in a workplace. Okay,
Mm.
and there is a system, and system has some expectations.
Yes, Bhaiya.
and you have to do certain things within that system. Okay. This is one situation.
Yes,
The
Bhaiya.
other situation is when I am in interaction with the people around, in the family, in the team, in the work. But system is not directly involved. Third is I am alone most of the time. Most of the time I am not interacting.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, Bhaiya.
Most of the time I am with myself. First two conditions which I mentioned, where interaction is taking place once in a while.
Yes, Bhaiya. Correct.
It is true that we keep occupied with those thoughts. That is our choice.
Okay.
Right? So how do I handle these three conditions, situations? So my approach is that I take care of the third situation first. That is, when I am with myself, then I work on myself. And I try to ensure that I have the right understanding and right thing. So 99% time I am working on myself. So that is the first thing that I will do.
Okay.
That working on myself is 1% when I am interacting with the other human being in the family or in the team, in the society. Then I'll try to make sure that I have that feeling even when I am interacting with the other. Okay. The other may not have that condition in himself or herself. But I can ensure that from my side, and therefore I can be in a state of harmony and happiness within. In that state of harmony and happiness within, I can interact with the other.
Okay.
Then comes the third condition. When there is a system and system has certain expectation, staying for it, right? So if I have to be with the system, I have to do that. Right? That is third condition.
Correct.
Okay?
Yes.
So this third condition, there is problem. Because the system today may be ethical, it may be unethical. And I may not have the immediate control over it.
Correct.
Okay? But even there, my experience is that if you communicate to the system that you are not able to do this, and therefore you can be given some other responsibility, system will not mind it. The system gets into the problem when you try to block it.
Got it.
So if you find a way out of this and do something which is not raising these questions, you can still sustain with the system. The other thing to do is to think in terms of changing the system, right, on a long-term basis.
Okay.
For example, this UHV introduced in the professional college. A long-term effort. In order. So, for example, what you did in SRM Chennai. Faculty member 48%.
Bhaiya, your voice is little breaking.
गणेश जी आपकी आवाज ठीक से नहीं आ रही है, आपकी आवाज थोड़ी
अभी आ रही है,
कट कट के आ रही है गणेश जी, थोड़ा सा और अभी आ रही है, हाँ अभी ठीक।
हाँ, वो इसलिए कट कट के आ रही है क्योंकि हमारा कंप्यूटर डिस्चार्ज हो गया था लैपटॉप और मैं नीचे आ रहा था ऊपर से, लेकिन अब ठीक हो गया, अभी चार्ज में लग गया।
जी गणेश।
So what you have done in Asharan, for example, or what we have done in all the professional colleges in India, is essentially trying to work for a long-term solution
जी भैया
to such problems.
हम्म
Ultimately, we have to work for this long-term solution. Where we are able to give a holistic, value-based education to every child. Have the right understanding, the right feeling, the right skills, and then they will develop the right kind of systems, right?
correct.
So that's the long-term effort. And it's good that we are part of that process. We are working for a long-term solution, isn't it?
Correct भैया
Yeah. So this third is, third case is little, tricky, how to handle the system. But the first two cases, I can handle. When I'm with myself, I can handle it. When I'm in relationship with other family members or the team members, right, I can handle it. It is not the demand of the system.
जी so what is in my control, I can work on it initially, so whenever I can expand there.
Yes.
जी भैया very nice. Okay.
So for example, if you look at this team, so this UHV team is, related to each other through this feeling of relationship. And in that kind of team, of course, there are a lot of ups and downs. But nobody is expecting anybody else to do something unethical.
Understood. Correct भैया
We have a lot of space. And in some way or the other, everyone is willing to help each other.
correct.
They are willing and they are wanting to help each other. They may not have the competence. If I start working on myself, I can take care of the situation and I can also help the other.
Understood.
This is what we are doing, If you see these 500 people all over the country, we are trying to help each other. And it is making, a difference. I mean, this conference, for example, is a good, case.
Okay.
So many ups and downs were there. So many problems were there. The big target was there. Of course, many of us had many problems, right? But then ultimately, we all together could sort it out, and it was an effective thing, ultimately. Of course, it could be done better. So next time, we'll try to do it better. So that's how probably we'll evolve, all of us together and individually. But this is a very important thing, that in any case, we don't get into a feeling of opposition.
जी भैया okay.
This must be ensured by each one of us.
जी okay.
Then we'll find out a way and we will evolve.
Ganesh, in this third case, changing the system on long-term basis.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a sort of a paradox that the system is so fast changing to becoming worse and worse, and that if we don't move, then things may become so bad that there is hardly any space left. Right now, there is space. So, what is the right time for stepping in as a co-explorer?
Yeah. So this is true that things are going bad to worse at a very fast speed. But, if you look at the existence as a whole, the existence has its own speed. And each one of us has to take the decision on the basis of understanding of that. So, for example, I would like that everybody, all these 500 people, devote themselves completely to this work of UHV, right? But that is not going to happen because everybody is there with his own sanskar, with his own commitment, her commitment, right? And pressing, requirements all around. So they will take time, to respond, to work on it, to understand the importance, then finally commit to it. So all that will take time. So while I want that everyone should, devote themselves completely to this because this is the need of the time, but it's not going to happen. In fact, we did this experiment. We thought that, we work intensively with 20 people, okay, for 3 years, and then they will, change the world. But after 3 years, we realized that everybody has his own sanskar, his own commitment and all that. And out of this 20 people, 2 people will, commit. So then we decided that, rather than working with 20 people, let us work with 20,000 people. Right? So if we are working with 20,000 people, then maybe 2,000 people will respond. So that's how we came to the mainstream education. And the result is still less. That time it was 10%, now it is 1%. But then fine, if we have worked for 1 lakh teachers, we are now having 1,000 teachers who are, willing to work for it. Okay. And if you work with the students seriously, probably the response will be much more than this because they don't have immediate commitments. So if we work with 15 lakh students every year and do a proper follow-up, maybe 10% or even 1% result will mean 15,000 students. So that's how we have to, properly look at it. Then we have to consolidate. We have to consolidate with this 1,000 teachers, with 15,000 students every year. So all that has to be worked out. So there is a need, there is a dire need, there is urgency. Okay. But then things will, work at their own existential pace. So sanskars don't change immediately. The commitments are there around. The immediate, urgencies are there. So with all that, you have to plan. So when I place anything new, I know it will take at least 2 years before people, start appreciating it. So I keep placing it a number of times. Then 1 or 2 people are able to see this. Then they start working on it, and then it goes on like that. So this course on universal human values, UHV 2, it took around 10 years to finalize. UHV 3 took almost 13 years. So it takes time. This holistic human health. I remember one of the days when we were sitting in Bhutan in the guest house and planning to leave for India. That time this idea was first time discussed. And this must be more than 12, 13 years because, no, not 13 years. This was 2015, if I am not mistaken. So it took around 10 years. Now it is 2026. And so many efforts have gone in between.
Yeah, one more important thing is that earlier, since it was mostly face-to-face, the interactions were much less. And now there is more possibility of interaction. So things are sort of becoming faster.
Yes. So
that is true.
Yeah, but it is both way. I mean, at least that face-to-face interaction with the people who feel committed is also very necessary, because once they have made up their mind, then probably face-to-face interaction will be more effective. But yes, to give exposure to a larger number of people and do the follow with larger number of people, online is a very effective media. Yes.
Yeah. Geeta ji has had her hand up for quite some time. So there's some.
So, yes, Geeta ji.
नमस्ते गणेश जी, सभी को नमस्ते.
Namaste.
Ganesh ji, I was listening to your discussion previously, and
Yes.
there you were telling that we need to have feeling of relationship.
Yes.
But sometimes I am in situations where I am forced to have feeling of relationship.
Yeah.
Please guide me, Ji.
No, will you just repeat the question again, Geeta ji?
I can understand, Ganesh ji, that within us we always have to ensure feeling of relationship. That I'm able to understand. But at times, with certain situations, I am forced to have feeling of relationship. Why that is happening?
Forced to have feeling of relationship.
Yes, because I want to resolve from the conflict. No other way. So I am compelled to have a feeling of relationship. It is not natural to me. That's what.
Okay.
Where can we move forward?
See, when we feel that we are forced to be in the feeling of relationship, okay, then it is not really the feeling of relationship. Right? Deep within, we have the feeling of opposition. Right? Isn't it?
Gigi, because I think that I don't have choice. So to solve the problem, let me have feeling of relationship and complete it like that. I'm having a thought.
Yeah. So you have the feeling of relationship outside, but you have the feeling of opposition inside. Isn't it?
Gigi.
So you have that feeling of relationship at the level of thought. At the level of feeling, you still have feeling of opposition. So it will not work for a long time. In fact, outside you may be showing feeling of relationship, but inside you might be suffering.
Gigi.
No, you may be feeling hurt. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Ji. Thank you.
Yeah. So there is a lot of suggestion about the percentage. 1% faculty and 0.1% students. Yeah, good. Even if it is 0.1% in students, 15 lakhs per year means 1,500 students per year we should be able to, mobilize. So even that percentage is good. With the faculty, yes, we have been able to do a lot of work because we have now around 500 volunteers who are in the process. Yeah.
Where can we move forward?
Yes.
This question, in fact, rather focusing what is there in my imagination, how to develop my understanding, because many times our focus are there to see or change the imagination of the other. So one cannot work on the other's imagination. All I can do is just place the content with the right feeling for the other to explore. But by understanding myself, I can at least see the whole as my reflection within. So that is right view. So you can say something, what is there in my imagination, how to develop my understanding. rather focusing on the other imagination or change their imagination, which is not possible now.
Yeah. See, what if you look at the way we are conducting the workshops, our focus is not on changing the imagination of the other. Our focus is on trying to understand oneself. Right?
Yes.
And trying to understand oneself, trying to observe oneself, trying to investigate into oneself. Right? And in that process, we are able to improve upon ourselves. So if you look at the whole discussion about the harmony in the human being, then harmony in the self, exercise 1, then exercise 2. All these efforts are not for changing the other, but for working on oneself. Therefore, the focus is always on self-exploration. So that is the core. Okay. And if we do that effectively, then we improve, right? We are better off. And with that, it is natural that our interaction with the other also becomes more effective than before. But we don't make that as a burden. That interaction with the other, and therefore trying to change the other, that should not become the burden on me.
Okay.
So fundamentally, I have to work on myself and improve upon myself. And if I work on myself and if I improve upon myself, then I'm in a state of relatively more harmony and happiness. That state of harmony and happiness, I can better interact with the world around. The world around will also find it more comforting for them. But that should not become my main target. Make others comfortable and to change others. The other will become comfortable by virtue of my being in harmony with him, and therefore with that harmony, my behavior with the other. That is a natural outcome of the transformation that is taking place in me. Okay, so that is one thing. The thing is that when I work on myself and I feel benefited out of it, and then a natural feeling comes that this is something which must be shared with others.
True, Bhaiya.
Then out of that natural feeling, I'm not insisting on the other to change. I am making it available to the other as a proposal.
Okay.
Like you went to all the departments and said that, okay, I want to share my experience. And I went through this workshop. What was my feeling? What was my achievement? Now, when you are sharing this, others are able to evaluate that it is meaningful for them or not meaningful for them.
Correct.
They found that it seems to be meaningful for them, and they came for the workshop. They went through the workshop, and all that happened, right? But that should not become the burden that I will change the whole world.
Correct.
But if I am going through a process and it is, I am getting benefited and I have this that I must share with others, then I am sharing with the other with a feeling of relationship and not that I want to change the other, and that becomes my main responsibility. So that is what we are expecting from all our team members.
Understood, Bhaiya.
So we are working on ourselves. So self-development is the first thing to do. Based on self-development, if you think it is something worth which has to be taken to the society at large, to the education, then we are working as a team together to do this effort. Because when you want to take it to the system, to the society, then it cannot be done alone. We are making the team. Then we are working with the team together. Then we are working for the society in general through education, through higher education, through school education, through jail, through counseling, and but that should not become a burden. That's a mode of expression for you, and it is a kind of proposal for the others.
Other, okay.
So it should not become burden. If you think that it is burden, for the time being, you should hold. Hold it, look within, work on yourself, and then when you feel that need strongly, then proceed further.
But yeah, now you're saying this now. That is coming up with the next question. How do we recognize our effort is subtly becoming an attempt to change others instead of supporting the self-exploration? How do I know that I'm crossing that border? Like, my how do I know that our effort is becoming an attempt to change others?
Yeah, that's what I keep saying. Good thing is to check whether you have the feeling of relationship or not. If that feeling of relationship gets converted into feeling of domination or feeling of opposition.
Ji, bhaiya. Okay, got it.
Because see, you are the ultimate judge. So when you start, I have to change the other. That's not a feeling of relationship. That's a feeling of domination.
Domination. Okay.
This problem of over-evaluation, the problem of under-evaluation, all this comes in.
Correct.
So I can facilitate the other. I can make him or her see that she has the possibility and need to change. Then the other person will change.
Correct.
Try to work for change. Isn't it?
Ji, bhaiya.
So I have to facilitate. That is why, there was a lot of discussion in the beginning that unless you have understood things completely, address to the other. That we said we are the facilitator, co-facilitator, co-explorer. So we are exploring something and we are finding it meaningful. And we want you also to explore together.
Correct.
We are the co-explorers, not the teachers. So that is why this term co-explorer, co-facilitator was used, because we are only facilitating the process, not calling them teachers. We are calling them co-explorer. We are calling them facilitator. This, we have to have the clarity that we are not trying to dominate on the other, force on them. We are trying to explore with the other. And you can see, if we are exploring together, that works. By dominating, it will create problems. It will create problem for the other and it will reflect back and create problem for you. Yeah.
Bhaiya, this question, when I have this trust and respect within me, and it's for everyone. In fact, this question morning, we place it for Kumarji, and Bhaiya has thrown some light. But since many of them has joined here, you can also place it. So when I say trust and respect, it is for everyone. Then when I get this right feeling it for all, right understanding means seeing the reality as it is. So now I won't see with one or two. Once I get this trust and respect, I started seeing with the whole. So if I started seeing with the whole, why we are mentioning that affection? Because when I say affection with one, two people, say I get it with my father or son or husband, now it is becoming identity based, conditional based. Then that is also not a true feeling, Nabaya. Like that affection should also be with the whole. Then why we are having it for only few to begin with?
Yeah. So this idea of keeping this feeling of affection with a few to begin with, because when it comes to affection, comes with the responsibility. It comes with the commitment to fulfill that relationship. Right? So that you are able to do with a few people to begin with, isn't it? A few people in the family or in your friendship or in your workplace, right? So at least with those few people, you must have this feeling of being related and feeling that commitment. Something for them, right? Something that you need to do in relationship. With the rest of the people, you have the feeling of trust, feeling of respect, right? So, but you do not have that commitment to fulfill the relationship with all of them. With some of them, you take that responsibility. So that is why when we say affection, we are saying affection with a few people, at least to begin with. Ultimately, we of course want to expand it to all, right? Which we are calling as feeling of love. When you have that feeling of love, then you will not only work to fulfill your commitment with these few people, but you will work for the system, the societal system as a whole, right? So you will start working for that undivided society and universal human order. But till then, when you are working within the limits of your family, within the limits of your place, limits of your team, till then, affection is playing a role. That at least with some people, you have the feeling that you have the responsibility to fulfill that relationship, right? So, for example, in the family, you have the responsibility to nurture the child, take care of their, care of their clothes, take care of their education, right? But that responsibility is not there for everyone you are working with in your workplace.
Correct.
But with them, you have the feeling of trust, feeling of respect, right? So with that feeling of trust and respect, there is an environment of, lot of assurance. So you're not doubting others, you're not disrespecting others. But then you're not taking responsibility of, feeding them, responsibility of educating them. So with affect comes that responsibility. Right? Then you develop your capacity slowly. So when you develop capacity, then come to that place where you have the feeling of relationship or all the feeling of love. And when you have that feeling of love, you will not only work for your family members, you will work for the whole society, for the undivided society, for the universal human order. Yes.
Thank you, Bhaiya.
Yeah.
So
we have to start with affection, but ultimately we have to go up to the love.
Okay. So this is Soumyaji's question. Is observing every moment without reaction is the only thing to do while in the process of self-development?
No, it is not the only thing. It is one of the things.
One of the things. Okay.
This self-awareness and self-evaluation, right, is one of the things that we have to do, right? So if you look at this exercise 1, for example, so one thing is this self-observation, self-evaluation, right? The other thing we are saying in step 6 and 7, that we have to understand its whole existence, and the existence has this relationship, harmony, and coexistence. So we have to understand that relationship, harmony, and coexistence in its completeness. So that is what we have to do ultimately. Understanding this relationship, harmony, and coexistence in its completeness. When we understand this, then we accept it, and then we live accordingly. So we have the feeling of relationship, harmony, and coexistence all the time. All our thoughts, our expectation, all our imagination is going along with that. And then ultimately all our work, our behavior, and our participation in the larger order is with that feeling of relationship, harmony, and coexistence. So it will go up to that. But in the process, one of the important things, is to be a pure observer every moment. From there, observe your own imagination, your feeling, evaluate it, observe your sanskar, evaluate it, and ultimately make sure that all your sanskar and all your feelings are in terms of relationship, harmony, and coexistence, and not otherwise. So that is a part of the process. Ultimately, we have to understand the relationship, harmony, and coexistence in its completeness. Right? Understand it, accept it, be with that feeling, ensure all our imagination is going along with that, and then ultimately ensure that all your behavior, your work, and your participation in the larger order is in line with relationship, harmony, and coexistence. Which will ultimately mean that all your actions are for undivided society and universal human order. Yes.
Yes, sir.
We have a long way to go, but this is one important thing that we have to do also.
Again, Soumya ji, can you help me to read this question?
जी जी कर्म करके हम कुछ पाना चाहते हैं, पाने से तात्पर्य कुछ करके बदलना चाहते हैं, क्योंकि सब कुछ सह अस्तित्व में है, बल्कि यह नियम को समझकर नियम में रहने की बात है, अतः बदलने की कुछ आवश्यकता भी नहीं है। तो फिर कर्म का सिद्धांत क्या है? कृपया मार्गदर्शन करिए। बाय गौरव भैया।
तो सही कर्म तो यही है, ये जो सहस्तित्व है उसको समझ लें, सहस्तित्व का जो नियम है उसको समझ लें, और सहस्तित्व के नियम को एक्सेप्ट कर लें, स्वीकार लें, तो हम खुद सुखी हो जाते हैं। हम सुखी होकर दूसरे के साथ उस नियम पूर्वक अगर जिएंगे तो दूसरे के भी सुखी होने का, समृद्ध होने का हम रास्ता तय कर सकते हैं। तो सही कर्म क्या है? तो सही कर्म है इस अस्तित्व को, व्यवस्था को, संबंध को समझना, अस्तित्व व्यवस्था संबंध पूर्वक जीना, यही सही कर्म। इसको करेंगे तो हम खुद भी सुखी समृद्ध रहेंगे, दूसरों को भी सुखी समृद्ध करेंगे, यही करने का काम है। लेकिन अभी हम ये नहीं करते हैं। हम क्या करते हैं? हम ये करते हैं कि हम कुछ करके कुछ पाना चाहते हैं, और पाना चाहने का मतलब ये है कि बाहर से कुछ अनुकूलता पाना चाहते हैं, और उस अनुकूलता को पाके सुखी होना चाहते हैं। तो समझकर सुखी होना चाहते हैं ऐसा नहीं है, सही भाव से सुखी होना चाहते हैं ऐसा नहीं, बाहर से कुछ अनुकूलता पाके सुखी होना चाहते हैं। तो जैसे एक अच्छा सा खाना बना लेना चाहते हैं, है ना, और वो अच्छा सा खाने का जो स्वाद मिलेगा उस स्वाद से सुखी होंगे, ऐसा सोचते हैं। बहुत बड़ी सी गाड़ी खरीद लेते हैं, बहुत अच्छे से कपड़े खरीद लेते हैं, और हमको लगता है कि उस गाड़ी को देखकर लोग हमारा सम्मान करेंगे, उस कपड़े को देखकर हमारा सम्मान करेंगे तो हम सुखी होंगे। तो यहाँ मुश्किल है। तो आप बड़ी गाड़ी खरीद कर जाते हैं, दूसरे आपको ध्यान नहीं देते हैं, तो आप दुखी हो जाते हैं। बहुत एक्सक्लूसिव ड्रेस पहन कर जाते हैं और दूसरा आपका ध्यान नहीं देता, या 2 मिनट ध्यान देता है किसी और काम में लग जाता है, तो आप दुखी हो जाते हैं, है ना? ठीक है कि नहीं?
Sir, Gaurav Bhaiya hasn't joined today.
Joined today.
जी,
Gaurav Bhaiya didn't join today. He is in the family emergency. Bhaiya.
अच्छा, ठीक है, ठीक है।
Bhaiya, it's 5 o'clock. What shall we do now?
No, something urgent is there, we should take up that question, otherwise we should stop it, because 5 o'clock it may be too late for others.
Ji.
Already we had 2 meetings, 11 to 1, then 3 to 5. So many of these volunteers are common. They hardly got time to have their food. And if they had to cook food, then it was very difficult. But if there is something urgent, we can take up one more question.
Yeah,
But otherwise we can stop.
So, and again, so those who are having a questions, you can place it in that form so that we can, keep adding that question in our upcoming meetings also.
Yes, yes, yes. Who is this person? Last question.
Gaurav Bhaiya.
Gaurav Bhaiya.
Last. गैप को कम करना चाह रहे हैं।
Lot of questions are there, Bhaiya.
ठीक है, right. So we'll continue next time. We'll
Ji,
continue.
Bhaiya.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Very nice.
So can we close now, Bhaiya?
Yes.
Ganesh-ji, one suggestion. Since we didn't have meeting in December, can we have 2 meetings in January or February? Bonus meeting.
February we should plan, because January is 11th and 18th. Then February is, which is just the dates in February?
Or March, we can do March also. I mean,
We'll try in February or March.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ganesh Bhaiya, also we do have one more request from active and proactive volunteers.
Sir, we are, I don't know whether we should tell that this is being selfish, but sir, these sessions we feel very important. So we are really working on, understanding like how important it is for many of us who are taking out their time. We really appreciate them for putting the questions also, and even asking us if they've not attended, they're asking us, did sir answer our question? Can you please share that answer with us? So that kind of a commitment we're able to see. And so we are being little maybe selfish. I don't know. Yeah, so Prasad Didi, you can please.
Bhaiya, what we are expecting is a kind of a refresher UHV2 course by senior most mentors. It's an online FDP for a refresher for all of us, active and proactive, and that can be recorded again, placed for the YouTube as well for our own preparation, because quite some time some videos have been, again, we couldn't find those recent FDP videos. So it's a request like a refresher UHV2 for, again, active and proactive volunteers, even at least online for selected number of people. So we are requesting senior most volunteers to come forward and help us.
Okay. So let us work out. But we were planning this UHV3 in summers, both one for South in English and one for North in Hindi.
Ji, Bhaiya.
So that is always that is already in the pipeline. But this idea of UHV 2 refresher online, let us think, let us.
Because by the latest proper material is video material is also not available in the online for us to take a reference. So in that regard, we need proper material also for our own preparation.
Yeah. Okay, we will look into that.
Ji bhaiya.
Thank you so much, sir.
So, thank you very
Namaste.
much.
Thanks a lot, Bhaiya, for being there for us and helping us all the time. I thank all the co-explorers joining today. Like we keep doing this again and again. Thank you, Bhaiya. Thank you all. Namaste.
Thank you very much. So I'll try in February, having 2 sessions.
Ji Bhaiya. Okay.
Ji sir. Thank you so much.
जी नमस्ते गणेश जी।
बताइए फिर आगे क्या करना है।
Namaste.